Hello, Clara. Thank you for agreeing to do my local sporting hero interview for the Respect Project. To start off, could you tell me about your childhood? Where did you grow up and how was your life at school?
Hello, Caitlin. Thank you for inviting me. My childhood, my memories of my childhood growing up in Cunningham Park on the 1 Point Road, close to where you live now, Caitlin. Always loved the 1 Point Road. There were great memories. We lived in a big park. I was the eldest of three children. I had a brother and a sister. We had loads of friends. There was no phones back then. So we were always out playing. Great memories, a great, fantastic place to grow up. I was introduced at a very early age, making dinners, doing the housework, looking after my brother and sister. My mother and father worked full time. So it was 9 to 6. We were dropped at school and I collected my brother and sister from school. We walked home and we had all these chores, and I'm sort of glad for that, because later in life, going into the big world, I would have had all these great achievements that I learned when I was a child. And then when we went into my teenage years, early teenage, we moved out the Belfast Road. The three of us children, we all missed Carnifle Park, but because it was a lot quieter out there. But a very happy childhood.
And what hobbies or interests did you have when you were young?
My mum always had us involved in arts, obviously, so that's where I am today. I remember at a very young age travelling up and down the country, going to feshes. I was top, like a speaker. I went to verse speaking, and my teacher was Miss Hollywood. It was actually in the old Frontier beside the dance studio. So that's where I went every Saturday. And then, of course, when I P7 first year, I was helping her. And so I was verse speaking, drama. I attended dance classes in Newry Gateway. I was part of Arthur Burns's Irish dance team. It was in the Gateway as well, and a few other places. We get into Arthur Burns because my granny actually danced with him. She was in his dance troupe with Lily Fox. Lily Fox had a shop on the 1 Point Road. So anytime I went into Lily Fox's shop, she used to take me upstairs to where she lived, and she had a picture on top of her TV of my granny, her and Arthur Burns. So it meant a lot to them all. My dad then went on to dance with Arthur Burns. He was an Ulster champion. So a lot of dancing in the family.
Who or what influenced you to get involved in dancing at such a young age?
My mum. Yeah, we were a very musical family, but it was always mum. She would have had me in anything creative, artsy. She would have took me to anything that was going on. And of course, I was always willing because I loved it, loved music.
What type of competitions would you have danced in, and did you ever get nervous before them?
I suppose the All Irelands would have been the first one I won. And then we started going to Europe, the European Championships I won. And that really, I think it was, I'm not sure, I think it was Blackpool or Breen Sands. I can't remember, there's that many of them. But I remember Flavia and Vincent from Strictly actually presenting me my award. So I thought, this is great. So it really set me on, my goal to achieve, to go to the World Championships. So then we went to the World Championships, and I was just after having Ben. He was 11 months, so we were able to go to Disney World, Florida, and went on to win the World Championships then. So hopefully this year we're going to relive that, because unfortunately Ben was only a baby and didn't get to see Disney. Yeah. So this year we're hoping to go, and he's now nearly 13, so he'll enjoy it.
You obviously have a passion for dancing. What would you say you enjoy the most about dancing?
I would say the biggest thing for me is teaching the children and teenagers. That's the passion. Helping the children, watching them achieve their full potential.
What would you regard as the highest and lowest points of your dancing career, and why?
I would say the highest point would be winning worlds, because that really put me at the top level. The day I walked past, it was the old Regency in Hill Street, and I seen the for sale sign and the rent sign, and I thought, because we wanted to move, or we were either going to close or move, and I seen it, and I think that was a high point, just saying, right, I'm going to do this, I'm going to open this here, right down in the main street. And we did it. So that I always remember that we actually did it like 20 odd years ago, and we're still open. But the lowest point, and still affects me to this day, would be my knee injuries, that I have to live with chronic pain on a daily basis. But it's something I have to live with, and I'd take the dancing over the pain any day.
You mentioned your low points, like such as your knee, and what did you do to overcome these setbacks?
Rice springs to mind. Rest, which I find very hard to do. Ice, compression, and elevate. So I have to do that on a daily basis. But it keeps me going, and I know I have took a huge. I've stood back a lot from a lot of it, but I'm still doing what I love the most and doing as much as I can.
Yeah. You're currently involved as a dance coach with Academy Dance Studios. Could you tell me more about your role and what type of programs you deliver?
Yeah, I've been there 20 odd years now. I suppose now I'm mostly just doing competition, because that's mainly what the kids want to do. We do have openings for kids that want to come in and just do it for fun. I don't push it on the kids, but whenever they see the whole buzz and the fun of doing the competition, that's what they will do. So we'll do European, we do Worlds, and we do All Irelands. I've also started now running my own. First one was last year. My mum has successfully run the Dublin Heat of the Worlds for many, many years. So I think maybe I'm just taking after her footsteps. The type of dance programs that we offer, it's whatever we're actually given, from the certain competitions that we're going to do. I would do a lot of my own stuff. We would do clubs, we would do teams, we would do partners, we would do country, we would do ballroom, Latin, jiving, you name it, we do it. So we do everything.
Which do you prefer, competing in dance competitions or teaching others how to dance?
I would say now at this stage, it's teaching others how to dance. That's where my passion lies. Yeah.
Why would you pick that over competing?
Again, I think it's down to the knee. I can either do one or the other. When you start training, I am going to do it this year, hopefully. But when you start training, it puts tremendous, pressure on my knee, leaving me falling behind with my students and everything else that I've told people I'm going to do for them. I work for the Trust. I've opened the new dance school in Newry High. I work for, different groups in Newry, community groups. And when I took all this work on, I sort of put myself to the back burner, and I normally wing it at the time, but I normally would put other people before myself. You
mentioned there you work in Newry High. Could you tell me more about your role and what you do in Newry High?
Yeah, so after COVID, I had no work, and I find it, I like to be working all the time. So the job came up, and I went and I was there for 2 years, and then a permanent job I was asked to go for in the summer past, and I got it. So Newry High have opened a nurture suite. So it actually reminds me of the dance studio, only there's a wee bit of dancing, but there's not much. So it's basically a home from home. I've fallen into it, and it's definitely the perfect place for me. We're sort of just helping kids who need help with certain aspects of their lives, academic work, and it's beautiful. Like, we have a meeting room, a classroom, a kitchen, a sensory room, and it's all sort of combined, and it's something that I enjoy going to work every day.
What are your future aspirations?
I've been taking a lot of courses through the Education Board and through the tech. At the minute, I'm doing counselling. I'm always doing something. But yeah, I'm going to go down the road of, the counselling at the minute, and just anything else that comes up, I'll probably go for it too.
Yeah. And finally, what advice would you give to a young person who's interested to get involved in dancing?
Firstly, find your style. Yeah. Don't just try a dance class and say, oh, I don't like it. You know, you might just not like that type of dance. Find the style. It could be anything. Go around, you know, different dance schools. Find, you know, if you like music and you like dancing, find the place that you like. Be patient and persistent. It takes a lot of patience being a dancer. So you have to be very focused. You have to have the mindset to keep going. If your mindset's not in it, if you want something, you know, a lot, you will get it if you keep your mindset right. And more importantly, have fun when you're dancing.
Thank you, Claire, for allowing me this opportunity for you to be my local sporting hero.
Anytime, Caitlin.